This is Oban, and we're on the ferry on our way over to the Isle of Mull for the 2005 Tunnock's Tour of Mull Valley.
In the weeks running up to the start of the rally, the weather had been at its worst and everyone was expecting rain. But as the first cars arrived on the ferries, the clouds lifted and we had a perfect autumn day. Once again, the organisers had been inundated with entries, and so it was a full 160 cars that had to be processed on the Friday morning. The event also had a new sponsor, in the form of Tunnock's, manufacturers of the famous caramel wafers, tea cakes, snowballs and caramel logs. The rally itself makes a vital contribution to the economy of Mull, extending the summer season into October, with not just the competitors, but the service crews, marshals, rescue and recovery teams, doctors, radio operators, and of course, the enthusiastic spectators who travel from far and wide. Scrutineering is traditionally held in the grounds of the Tobermory distillery, but there wasn't much drinking to be had on this Friday morning. It was a last chance for everyone to prepare their pace notes, make last-minute changes to their cars, or just get some extra sleep before the early evening start, where we caught up with some of the drivers.
Are you looking forward to the event this year?
Yeah, very much so, with it being a new car, but a bit nervous, but we'll see how it goes at first stage.
Have you been able to get much mileage in the car, or have you just come here really and just jumped into it?
None at all, from De Veeg to Tobermory twice and that's it.
What are you expecting, a bit different to the Corsa?
A lot quicker, yeah, obviously, yeah. But it should be fun.
Realistically, where would you like to see yourself at the end of the event?
Well, obviously, if you get into the top 10, that's your ideal aim, really.
Alright, this is Neil By, co-driver in car 12, I believe.
That's correct, yeah, car 12, a Metro 6R4 with Roger Binion driving. He's from Farnborough in Kent and I'm from Burnley in Lancashire.
Are you looking forward to the event? Have you done it before?
Absolutely dreading it. Last year was in a Nova 1400, which was a very nice little car. This year we're with this 6R4 and it feels like World War III's going off behind your ears. It's absolutely incredibly noisy. I was talking with Lee Carter, who's a bit of a 6R4 expert, and he was saying to try and read the notes when he's off the power, which I haven't a clue how to do that. So, but we'll see. I've borrowed a helmet off someone, a proper helmet, rather than my cheap 10 bob job. And we'll see how it goes.
Daniel, in a mini again this year, same as last year, hoping for obviously to finish this year and hopefully for a decent result.
First and foremost this year I think it's to finish, secondly a decent result, but yeah, looking forward to it.
How's the car running? Have you done much testing in the car?
Probably done about 10 miles, I've only finished him really yesterday and yeah, it seems to be alright. Yeah,
and the recce, how's it gone?
Oh good. It's we've had a good couple of days wrecking and a good rest in between, so yeah, it's good.
And was unable to finish the event, but Daniel was fully in the path.
Yeah, bloody nervous. So, how many times have you competed on this event then?
I think we're about to 18, I think, something like that.
And what sort of event are you expecting this year?
I think it's going to be darn fast this year. I think it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, I believe they've regraded some roads on the island. How fast are you expecting to get up to on some of the stretches?
I think we'll top out. This is geared for about 125, and I think at 125 it'll be fast enough for me.
So maybe a few fastest stage times overall this year, hopefully.
You're tempting fate there, I think. Let's just see how we go. It's not going to be easy.
John Swinsko was debuting the all-new Mitsubishi Evo 9.
So then, how are you feeling anyway?
Yeah, nervous, same as him.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot quicker this year. I think everyone got used to the dry last year and they learnt a lot, and this year I think you'll go even quicker.
So what's your best ever result on the island then?
Last year, 4th.
So are you hoping to improve on that, Jan?
To get somewhere in that area would be good, but we'll see. I think there's a lot of people learnt a lot last year, so I think this year's going to be just as more competitive, I want to say.
I was going to say there's quite a bit of good decent machinery out this year.
Oh,
It's going to be a lot more competition than usual probably.
Yeah. It'll be good, we'll see how it goes.
You've won this event 4 times, last 2 years. Anything special about trying to win it for the 3rd time on the trot?
It's more the fact we're in it in the Mark II that's up against WRCs. That's what's our main aim, is to give us a bit real competition, you know. So that's what our main aim is, to beat these kind of cars.
And how do you expect to run? Is the car running fine? Have you got much testing done in it?
We haven't done much testing in the car, but at the end of the day it's a Mark II Escort, so they all handle the same. We've just developed a pretty major problem with electrics. I don't know, our stack system's not registering any parameters. The rev limiter stopped working, stuff like that, so it's not affecting the performance of the car, but for some reason it's just started right now, so it's a bit disturbing.
And now they've regraded some of the roads on the island this year. Do you expect the times to be a bit quicker than last year even?
Well, obviously the conditions are perfect, you couldn't ask for better, so yes, I would say and some of the cars at the top are better, I'd say, so yes, I would say quite a few records will get broken this year.
Okay, and good luck, Callum, and I'll see you sometime during the weekend.
Thanks very much, cheers.
But as last year's winners left the start ramp, it was clear that all was not well. And as both Callum and Dell headed towards the first time control, they were stopped with the bonnet up. Callum suspected that something was wrong, but with less than 3 minutes before their due start time, there was little he could do. And without even time to plug in his intercom, they were off. This was not the flying start that everyone had expected, and before long, Car 2 was catching them, and they had to pull over. So the first car into sight at the Dervig hairpins was the Subaru WRC of Neil McKinnon. McKinnon was immediately the pace setter, stopping the clocks on 6 minutes 59 seconds. But he wasn't without his problems either. A sticking throttle was causing him some concern. Meanwhile, on the start line, it was the Nissan of Tony Bardi and Reg Smith. A great start here, and quite an impressive sound too. Having finished second overall in 2004, James McGilvery and Ian Fraser were looking to go one better. And with Duffy already sidelined, his chances were good. Second fastest here on the opening stage, he was just 10 seconds behind McKinnon.
Five, 4.
Back on the start line, it was the Subaru WRC of John and Tony Cope. And despite their nervousness, they knew they had to push from the start. Tony immediately encouraging John whenever possible.
50, left 9. Plenty of grip. And left 1. Crest into right 4 at sign 120. Go. 120. Crest into right 2 on crest. And left 6. Don't worry about it. And left 6. And long right 3. Go, go, go.
Tony Bardi was nearing the end of the stage, but was now struggling with a soft brake pedal. Resorting to the handbrake on this downhill right-hander. He would end the stage in a lowly 35th place.
And flat right.
Back on board with the Copes, and Tony was really encouraging John to push.
Tightens to 9 and left 9. Tightens to 9 and left 9. And right 1. The open hairpin right at post. Tightens. Tightens and hairpin left tight. Hairpin left tight. Into right 6. And crest and right 1. And crest into long left 9, tightens late. Carry your speed. Carry it, carry it.
But this was not as planned. The car now beached on a small mound.
Lock it, lock it. Can you lock it?
And with the clock ticking, the next car appeared. This was Willie Bonnywell in his Mark II Escort. It was a steady start for the local driver from Oban, but being more used to his Subaru in the forests, it would take a little time to adjust to the two-wheel drive Escort and tarmac. Willie was 17th after stage 1. Another 3 minutes had passed, and the Subaru of Cope was only just being freed as Billy Bird went through, on his way to 7th fastest on the stage. Cope was back on his way, but was now almost in last place. Dan Harper in the BMW Mini was flying on the first half of the stage and looked set to put up another great performance. But then... and the car ground to a halt.
Touching or not?
No, well, it's roll, but I can't get out of gear.
Alright. Will it not bump up in gear though? Can we not get it to end in that gear?
No, no gears.
No, is it actually in gear or not?
He would eventually limp to the end of the stage, but with a broken gearbox, his rally was over. On to stage 2, and the first car on the road was James McGilvery.
Okay, James, first 2 stages down. How's it gone so far?
Pretty steady, but pretty happy. A lot of the boys, I'm afraid, haven't made it by the looks of things, but I don't know. We'll not know till later on here. So.
And how are the tyres wearing up? Have you made the right choice?
Probably quite a good choice of tyre. I wanted to go softer. My mechanics and that said harder, and it was the right choice at the end of the day. So, yeah.
So it pays to listen to the mechanics now and again?
Most of the time, I would say. I'm only the driver.
Willie Bonnywell was up to 11th after stage 2, and how was he faring?
Oh, I'm just going to try and finish. There's nothing we can do with the car. It's got a tuning problem and it's a mess. I'm just try and keep it going. I'm here just to enjoy the event.
Mr. Bird, 2 stages down. How's it going so far for you?
So far so good, no major dramas. It's just there seems an awful lot of cars parked at the side of the road, so keep plugging away and I'll keep it on the island. So, yeah.
What do you think that is down to? Maybe poor tyre choices, or maybe going for it?
Over exuberance, I think. It was just yeah, where everybody's gone off, and they've just been trying that bit too hard. So it's yeah, on this event you've got to bed yourself in and just keep on the road.
One crew who didn't even make it to the first service was the awesome Metro 6R4 of Roger Binion and Neil Bye. An impressive 7th on the opening stage here, but then on stage 2, just before our camera, the Metro slid off the road backwards. Stevie Brown had already won the John Eason Scholarship, which had given him a free entry to the event, plus expenses. And carrying an onboard camera, we could clearly see Binion's car off on the right-hand side. After 2 stages, the youngster was in 66th place and gaining some valuable experience. Lying in 2nd place after the first 2 stages, it was the Subaru of Dave Miller.
How's it gone so far for you?
It's alright. I think we should have gone out on slicks though, not on inters. I think we're the only one on inters. It's a bit bouncy and we'll keep it on the road, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. You've got a chance to change onto slicks at the service now, you'll be putting them on?
I don't know, yeah, we'll see. See what the times are like first. Just want to see who's gone by the wayside, aren't I think, so we'll see.
And John Swinscoe, 10th after stage 2.
Hey, John, spoke to you before the start, you were a bit nervous before the start.
I'm still nervous now, there's no change.
Still no change, huh?
No changing, still nervous, but enjoying it. Yeah, I feel a bit better, obviously.
Yeah. Eddie, 2 stages gone on this year's Tour of Mull. How's it gone for you so far?
Very cautious over that last one there. I don't know why. Usually like the Hill Road and down Loch Tour there, but felt slow. Dougie Hall wasn't that far behind us either. I could see his lights coming, but just got to plod on round. A lot of disappointment last year, so.
Do you think that was just maybe lack of confidence this year, or something else with the car maybe?
Oh, well, we just built this new car, just put it together in the last few weeks, so maybe just lack of match practice, as I say.
Another local crew putting in a good early performance were Doug Weir and Duncan Brown in their 2-litre Escort.
Not too bad. We've got a bit of a misfire, but I'm really enjoying it. The roads are bone dry and it's just amazingly quick.
They were up as high as 5th overall. Irishman Dennis Biggerstaff was certainly making an impression. He was straight up to 8th overall. So after 2 stages, there were a few surprises and several omissions from the top 10. And whilst McKinnon headed the table, it was short-lived, as his sticking throttle had left him stranded on the road section and out of time. And so it was Dave Miller who actually led, from James McGilvery, Eddie O'Donnell, Doug Weir and Billy Bird. We now move on to stages 3 and 4 for 2 short stages to the southwest of the island, and we take a ride on board with James McGilvery, John Cope and Tony Bardi.
150, gear, right 5 over crest, no cut. Left 2, 100 over bump, and right 8 over crest. 75. Left 2 and right 1 over crest, 250, crest and long right 1 tightens at shed, 50, travelling. Left 5 into long flat right, 150, very long flat right bump, 100, very long flat right bump, 50 straight at gate, 50 caution deceptive left 5, straight at gate 50, deceptive left 5. Into right 2, flat left.
Right 4, left 3, no cut, right 4, 60 over dip. Caution crest into left 9. Right 8 opens. 80 through the gate. Left 7. Into long right 5 over crest edge. 50. Left 5. And narrow right 6. Into crest. Into right 9 round the ball.
50. Flat right, left 1 continues. Flat right, immediate right 8 through the gate. 150 over bump. Into right 9, 150 bump right into right 9. 50. Flat left on crest. And caution, right 2 bump into left 4. And right 8 over flying finish. Left 7.
Into right 8 over the flying finish. And left 8 open, still cut. Okay, that's you. 30.
It was Dougie Hall who actually set the fastest time on both runs, whilst the Copes were just 3 seconds adrift. Dave Miller continued to lead the event until just after passing our camera here, when he rolled his immaculate Impreza out of the event. Billy Bird's early challenge came to an end on stage 6, when he stopped to change a puncture.
150.
But for John and Tony Cope, it was an awesome display of control as they started their fight back. After stages 3 and 4, they had climbed from last place up to 34th. And by the end of this opening leg, they had somehow climbed back to an incredible 6th overall.
50, caution, long left 3 tightens. 75, right 1, 50, straight on crest, and straight on you, 50, flat right, and left 1 over crest, 75, right 1 on crest, 75, crest into flat right.
John Swinsko was also settling in with his new car, climbing the leaderboard with every stage. He had now found a happy and safe rhythm to end the leg in 8th overall. Billy Bird had recovered from his puncture and had rejoined the stage just behind Swinsko, but had dropped right down the order to end the night in 36th place. Mark Durham and Andy Mort have always performed well in a 2-wheel drive car. But on this first outing in the 4-wheel drive Mitsubishi, it had been a superb display. Their 7th overall at the end of the leg, testament to their talent. Willie Bonnywell had been as high as 4th overall, but on the very last stage of the night, he put the car off the road for good. With his brake problems hopefully all sorted, Tony Bardi was now back to full speed. The flame-spitting Nissan ending the night in 5th overall. Heading the 2-litre class and an incredible 4th overall, the orange Escort of Dave Hopwood and Paul Grattage. Dennis Biggerstaff was in awe of the whole event. And whilst he is a regular top competitor in the Irish lanes, it takes a special skill to master the characteristics of the Mull. And so his 3rd overall was truly a superb performance. And we should expect him to be even quicker in the daylight. Eddie O'Donnell's junior and senior were both enjoying their run in the 2.3-litre Escort. And so far they were avoiding any real problems. They ended the night in 2nd place overall. But despite being beaten by the Copes on all but the first stage, James McGilvery and Ian Fraser had put on a great show. And whilst others had faltered, they had hung on in there and moved into the top place. Day 2 of the Tunnock's Tour of Mull, and it was another sunny day that greeted the crews after a short night's sleep. As the leading cars gathered for the restart, we caught up with some of the drivers to have a chat.
Now Tony, lying 4th overall overnight after the first leg of the rally, it's daylight today. What's your plan of attack?
Well, I hope to go better today after our dramas last night, and we're only in 4th really because of everyone else's demise, but the idea is to try and keep it on the road as I learnt from my mistake last year, so let's have a go.
And what dramas did you have last night?
On the first stage I had problems with the front brakes. I don't think I'd bedded them properly, and then they got hot boiler fluid. So quickly emergency service, we bled them, it was better, but all the way down the second stage I was just constantly checking, and you've got to build some nerve again, and it's going to take a while.
So overall, what are you looking to do at the end of the leg today before tonight's stages?
I don't normally make predictions, and I ain't going to make one today. I'd just like to be still going tonight.
Okay then, thanks for your time Tony, keep it on the road.
Thank you.
Dennis, morning after the first leg, you're lying 3rd overall. What's the plan of attack for today?
Plan of attack is probably go as fast as we can. There's a couple of boys coming up close behind us very fast, so we'll be watching them. I think Tony will pass us there, no problem, but we'll go as fast. We'll probably go better through the day. Nights we're not that good at it, so.
Yeah, there is quite a few cars within so many seconds of each other from 2nd to 5th place.
Yeah.
What's your chance of getting up to 2nd place and maybe even catching James?
Not a chance. We're very lucky to be 3rd at the minute, and we'll just take it a little bit at a time.
Okay, then we hope to see you later on.
Thank you.
So we spoke to you last night after the second stage. You weren't very happy. You had went on and off, lost 3 minutes, but you still managed to recover into 5th place for the second leg.
That's right. Yeah, we after our little indiscretion on the first one, we had a bit of a problem on the second one thereafter. Basically the car was weaving over the road. I think we damaged it, just knocked the tracking out. Came into service, got that sorted, and went out, and it was a completely different car again then, and we just decided to have a bit of a push, and everything went well from thereafter. We did really, really well, and we can't ask for anything more really. I think after the first night to be sort of almost last, if you like, but having a maximum on the first stage to be in 5th, 6th, whatever we are, I think that's, I was pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, you're 5th overall. There's only a handful of seconds between you and 2nd place.
Yeah.
Are you pushing for 2nd place, or do you think the leader can be caught?
I don't think so. Realistically, I think James is away with it. If he keeps his head, I can't see us doing it. But at the end of the day, who knows? We're going to be pushing hard, that's for certain. He's going to know we're coming. So that's all we can do, innit?
And a good result so far for Mark Durham.
Second leg of the rally today. You're lying in 6th place overall in a new car. How does that feel?
It's good, but it's still a learning curve, and we just need to take it easy, and still we've got a lot to learn, so I'm quite happy with it, more than happy with the result.
Morning. 7th overall overnight, second leg of the event today, daylight. How do you fancy your chances in the daylight?
I think keep it on the island, judging the attrition that's going on at the moment. It's very, very close. I'm still learning, got a lot to learn. Had a pipe come off on the turbo last night, which slowed us down in the last stage, but I think everything to play for, and with this wind it might bring in, I don't know, we'll see. Bit of rain, bit of weather, we'll see.
Morning Doug, 8th overall overnight after the first leg, how are you feeling?
A bit tired actually, we've been having to rebuild the 3 cars this morning, so we didn't get much sleep last night. But, I think we had a misfire yesterday, so hopefully we've sorted that.
Okay, are you hoping to go a bit better in the daylight, or do you prefer the dark?
I don't mind really, normally I'm not much difference time wise for me, I kind of prefer the dark, but we'll see how it goes anyway.
The opening stage for the day would take competitors alongside Loch Tour, before stages over the Hill Road and around Calgary Bay. We'll go on board with Mark Durham in his Mitsubishi Evo 5, complete with squealing brakes. Fastest on this stage would be the Subaru WRC of Dennis Biggerstaff, but he was closely followed by John Cope and James McGilvery. Cope immediately gaining 2 more places on the leaderboard. James McGilvery was still in a comfortable position, and as long as he kept within a handful of seconds to O'Donnell, Biggerstaff and Cope, he knew he could carry his lead into the final nighttime leg. On stage 8, he was just 8 seconds slower than the WRC machine of Biggerstaff. And on the 2 Hill Road stages, and here on Calgary Bay, he was never more than 13 seconds off the fastest times. And so, heading into the one and only service of the afternoon, he still had a commanding lead. Eddie O'Donnell was giving the 4-wheel drive cars a real run for their money, setting the fastest overall time here on the Hill Road. But this might have been due to the fact that the throttle cable was melting. A spectating Daniel Harper helped him out at the end of the stage, and a new cable was being readied for him at the service halt. Rounding the corner out of Calgary Bay, the sun was now quite low in the sky, and competitors would be moving from bright light at one corner to comparatively darkness at the next. But Eddie O'Donnell was continuing to push on, and was maintaining his second overall. The WRC Subaru of Dennis Biggerstaff was certainly on form in the daylight, as he now seemed to have stepped up a gear, swapping and sharing times with the regular competitors who have been doing this event for years. After the first 4 stages of the day, he had closed the gap to the O'Donnells by just 11 seconds. And this was a battle that was going to keep going for some time yet. John and Tony Cope continued where they had left off on leg 1, setting yet more top times. We join them here on stage 8.
75. Right 3, wet inside maybe. And left 4 on crest. And right 1 on crest. 75. Left 1 and right 1. Into left 3 on crest. Into long right 2 on crest, and flat right 75, long left 1 at White House 100, flat right 75 over flying finish, right 2 on crest tightens, right 2 on crest tightens 50, right 1 on crest, and crest and right 1, 913.
On to the first Hill Road stage, and again Cope was in superb form, but just 2 seconds down on O'Donnell.
50, and right 1, 50, flat right on crest, 50, left 3 on crest, and right 1 on bridge, into left 2, straight on crest, 50, jump 75, right 2 at post, 150, straight on crest at post, and crest, and left 1, and flat left on crest and caution right 2, 50, right 4 don't cut, and long left 1 on crest, 50, left 1, and right 2 at post.
The Calgary Bay stage would see no let-up in his charge, as once again he set another fastest time to close the gap to O'Donnell. And after the second run over the hill road, there was less than 30 seconds between them. Tony Bardi and Reg Smith were continuing at a safe pace, and still setting top 5 times. But after losing out on the very last stage in 2004, they didn't want to make any mistakes here this year. Dave Hopwood was certainly flying in the 2-litre Escort here on stage 10, but he had suffered a slow start on the opening stage of the day, and he was now having to keep an eye on the times of the second in class, Doug Weir. But after stage 11, he was 6th overall and still leading the class. John and Paula Swinsko were still enjoying a trouble-free run in their new Evo 9. And despite having never been tested, the immaculate new Mitsubishi looked to be well balanced on the undulating surfaces. But their stage positions were going in the wrong direction. 6th on stage 8, 7th on stage 9, and 8th on stage 10. But luckily they still held on to 7th overall. Mark Durham was still hanging on to his top 10 position after the opening 2 stages, but this would be the last we would see of the Lancashire driver, when the head gasket failed on the very next stage. With Durham out, Pat Johnson moved up another place into 8th overall, quietly making progress whilst keeping his driving neat and tidy. Also moving up into the top 10, it was yet another Subaru, this one belonging to Keith Hall and Miles Whitlock. Proving that the Subaru was the car to have, Lyndon Barton and Johnny Vance had been teetering on the verges of the top 10 throughout leg 1 in their WRC version, and now they had moved into 10th place. But they were being pushed hard by the local Scotsman George MacDonald in his Group A version. In the up to 1600cc class, Ian Chadwick had been embroiled in a very close battle with a similar car of Ian Grubb, both running in the top 20 overall. But on stage 12, Chadwick was about to lose a drive shaft.
Right and hairpin left, left right, hairpin left, square right, into medium left, 40 up to K right, into medium left, 40 up to K right, 50 over small crest, slide right. Oh shit, oh nana. Oh bollocks. That's us out. Bastard. Shaft. In right here. Shaft, we're out. Go on, we'll see, can we do something with it? No, nothing. No.
And that put Grubb into 1st in the class, 7 places higher than the Anglia of Mike Storer. The final 2 stages of the afternoon would take place down the side of Greeben and Screeden, the advanced results team keeping spectators and marshals as up to date as they could with the Mull Murmurs result handouts. And as the wind briefly dropped, the first car onto the stages was the course car of Neil Calvert. Neil was also running a special GPS tracking device linked to the organisers at Rally HQ, so they could track his progress around the stages. James McGilvray consolidated his lead on the final stages of the afternoon with his first fastest time on stage 13. And then on the final stage, he was still quicker than his nearest rivals. And so he would head home with a very healthy 1 minute 48-second advantage to second. Eddie O'Donnell's problems with the throttle cable were causing him some concern, and on the final 2 stages of the day, he dropped just enough to lose his second place. And so, going into the final leg, he was just 12 seconds behind the new second place driver. And that was Dennis Biggerstaff. He had powered his way through the daylight stages and had proved that he was now a real contender for the overall spot. John Cope was a real man on a mission, setting 2 record stage times on the afternoon stages. His climb back up the leaderboard had been superb, and he could only now be thinking, if only, for his stage 1 off.
150. Flat right on crest jump. 50. Right 2 on crest. 100. Left 2 on crest. 50. Straight at gate and right 2.
Tony Bardi was certainly looking more confident on the afternoon stages, and a string of top 5 times ensured he remained in 5th overall going into the final leg. John and Paula Swinsko continued at a good but safe pace to end the leg just 30 seconds behind Bardi, but the new car was certainly proving to be competitive straight out of the box. And it was certainly a superb performance in the Mark II Escort for Dave Hopwood, who held on to his class lead and 7th overall. Pat Johnson remained in 8th, whilst the battle for 9th and 10th was being led by Lyndon Barton in his WRC Subaru, ahead of George McDonald in his Group A version. Billy Bird had climbed his way back up from 36th place to 23rd by stage 12. But then, just after our camera here, amateur cameraman Tony Morland captured this spectacular crash.
Shit. I hope they're all right.
Both crew members escaped injury, but for the car, it was all over for another year. And now a special treat as we go on board with John and Tony Cope with another record-breaking stage around Mishnish Locks.
3, 2, 1, go. 6 right 9 and straight on crest. 50. Right 2 on crest and left 4 into right 4. 50. Flat left on crest and flat right into open hairpin left. And open hairpin right tightens and left 2. 50, open right 6. 75. Right 1 and tight hairpin left, keep out. 75. Open hairpin right and left 1 and caution crest keep right into left 9 open and hairpin right, open left 9 and hairpin right and long left 9 keep out and left 2 into right 6 and long left 4 and crest into flat right, flat left into hairpin right. 75. Long hairpin left at post, opens and tightens into hairpin right at post. 50. Left 1. 50. Right 2 over crest. Into caution, hairpin left, continues into hairpin right and flat left. 50, hairpin left at gate. 75, flat left over crest and right 1 and flat left. And right 1 and flat left, and right 1 into hairpin right. And flat left, and long left 9, opens at the armco. And right 2, and crest, into right 4, don't cut. And left 4, 50, crest into right 9. Crest into right 9, 50. Right 2, okay. And flat right over crest. And flat left, 50, caution, left 4 of the tricky bridge. And flat right, 75. Left 1 on long crest at post, wet there, Jon. Left 1, keep it in, go, go. 250. Right 5, 50, left 1, and right 1, and long left 2, 50, left 9, cut it if you want, 50, right 9, and left 1, into left 4 over crest, and right 4, and left 1 on crest, immediate right 4, into long left 2, and right 3, and left 1 on crest, right 3, and left 1 on crest, into left 2 over crest, and flat right, into right 1 on crest, 50, right crest into right 1, and flat left on crest, and flat left on crest, 50, flat right, 50, left 1 at house, and right 1, 50, straight on crest, and right 1, and flat left on crest, 75, right 2, 50, very long, left 2, continues over crest, and flat right, into straight on crest, 75, left 2 at post, and left 2, and crest into right 1, and crest 50, right 2, and flat left, and left 1 into right 3, and left 1 and left 6, and right 6, into straight on crest 50, left 8 at tree, and flat left into right 1, and flat left on crest, and left 2, and left 2 over crest, and right 2, and straight on crest 50, flat right into crest right 1, and right 5, 75, flat right on crest, double caution here, flat right on crest, left 7 immediate open hairpin right, into long left 7, into crest, into right 3, into long left 2 tightens over crest, into open right 6, 50, left 1 over crest, into left 1 tightens over crest, left 3 immediate right 6, and left 2 on crest, 100 over flying finish, and get in. Well, what do you think it is? 26. Give me one on that.
So to the final leg of the rally, where we caught up with the leaders.
James, good evening.
Hiya.
Last leg of the rally coming up. You've got a 1 minute 48 second lead over second place. I know which place you'd like to end up in first place. How do you do that now?
Probably a steady run through the 22 miler, tidy, neat and tidy, and just see after that what the story is really. We've got no chasing to do basically, so.
Do you find it easy to keep the lead, or do you prefer chasing the lead?
Don't know, I haven't been in this position very often, so I've asked Neil and Callum and they've given me a few pointers, so hopefully I'll be able to do as good as them at the end of the day, but time will tell.
Once again, it was a mature performance for James Jock the Bull McGilvery as Ian Fraser guided him through the opening 22-mile stage. They would stop the clocks on an impressive 20 minutes 49 seconds, setting a pretty hard task for all that followed.
Left 4 and right 7 over crest. Right 2 in over crest at rock, 50. Right 2 at pole, 50, left 2, 40, small crest into left 6, opens over bumps. 50 crest, right 7 at pole. 140. Small crest, flat left 2. C80 over small crest. Right 1 over crest, right 2, and left 3 over dip. 50, left 1, and C150 over small crest and bump. The right 4 in.
Back at the start, we found Dennis Biggerstaff.
Yeah. 1 minute 48 seconds behind. Impossible?
Not impossible, but highly improbable. So we're more concerned about the 3 boys behind us.
Yes, there's quite a battle building up behind you. Are you confident of holding them off?
No, but we're certainly going to try.
Okay.
Everything's a bonus. If they beat us fair and square, that's fine. And we'll certainly do our best, but we were going by a couple of night stages last night. They just blitzed us, so we're in a bit of trouble at the minute.
You had a good run this afternoon though?
John Cope was just telling us there we were probably quickest through the day, so we beat him by a second, so if that was the one rally then we would have won it.
And you'd be quite happy finishing second on this event?
Oh, would I what? I'd probably be happy finishing 5th, but second would be something else, so sure, we never know what happens. Last night there was everybody falling everywhere. Just nice to finish would be pretty special. Finish 5th would be special. finishing second would be awesome. So.
But Dennis could not match the leader's pace on this opening stage, as he set a time of 21 minutes 29 seconds. That's 55 seconds slower than McGilvery. If local support counted towards the result, Eddie O'Donnell would be the firm favourite. But with John Cope and Dennis Biggerstaff both in WRC spec cars, he would have to push very hard on this opening stage of the night. But once onto the stage, he certainly looked committed. He stopped the clocks on 21 minutes 21 seconds to beat Biggerstaff by just 8 seconds. But the biggest challenge would be from John Cope. But what was he expecting?
I think realistically, unless James makes a mistake, we're only going to be, we're only going to finish second at best. I think there's every chance that we can push Dennis and Eddie O'Donnell. I don't see that, I say, not being a problem, but at the end of the day, I think we've got a realistic chance of getting second. And to come back from where we have, that's amazing. I'm the first to admit it. It's been absolutely fantastic. The car's not missed a beat, and you can only do that when there's the confidence in the car. And all credit to the guys and whatever you've been looking after us. The car's been fantastic. So.
Caution, left 6, don't cut. And flat right on crest. 50. Left 3. Into right 3. Let him warm up. 50. Left 1. Into right 3 on crest. And straight on crest. 75. Long left 1. And right 1. And left 1. And flat right and left 1 and flat right into long right 1, continues over crest at post into left 1, 100 straight on yump and flat left on crest, 400 left 1 on bridge, yump.
It was an awesome display of control and speed as John Cope set another new stage record, beating Callum Duffy's record for 2003 by 3 seconds, stopping the clocks on 20 minutes 34 seconds. Now that is some average speed. He moved into a comfortable second overall.
50, right 2. And long flat left, 75, flat left at post, 75, flat right, and crest into left 1, 50, crest into flat right on crest, and flat left, and flat right, into flat right, 50, flat left, and right 1, 75.
Stage 16 would see Cope set another fastest time to consolidate his second place. And as he arrived into the final service, we had to ask him, could he still catch McGilvery?
No, I've already had a bit of a conversation with James, and realistically, 139, we've only got 40 odd, well, less than 40 miles to do it in. It's just too much of a challenge. Unless he has a problem.
Yeah, it's only 27 miles to go after this.
I say, realistically, we ain't going to do it.
You've had a good rally coming up from where you were yesterday afternoon.
That's right, yeah. At the end of the day, we pushed very, very hard, and we've basically, it's mission accomplished. Knew we could do well at the 21 miler, and we've taken another stage record, so that's brilliant.
Okay, up to see you at the finish.
Okay, thank you. Cheers.
The Nissan of Tony Bardi had not given up on a possible podium finish either. He was third fastest on the 22 miler, and then here on the lock stage, despite finding the car unhappy on the bumps, he set another third fastest time. Back at the service area, Tony was busy cleaning his tyres.
Tony, after the first 2 stages tonight, you're currently lying in 4th position, 17 seconds off 3rd place. Just curious what you're doing to the tyre at the moment. Have you been a bit of a problem?
There's a lot of gravel on the road and the early cars are cutting the corners, which we don't do, which then means there's gravel that they've flicked out, so I'm having to cut some of the corners, and the sides of the roads drop drastically and they're very sharp, so you get a lot of cutting on the insides.
Eddie O'Donnell was just holding on to 4th overall, but a flickering oil pressure light was now causing him some concern.
Your mechanics seem to be frantically working at your car at the last service. Have you got a problem?
We've got an oil problem. Just part of the way through the long one, the oil light came on there, and so had to put in about 4.5 litres of oil, so can't find any oil leaks, and it's oil pressure's fine now, so I don't know if there's maybe just a wee blip somewhere. But
you've got 3 stages to go now, 27 miles. Do you think you can get it back to the finish in one piece?
I'll certainly try that. I try that every year, but hopefully.
Okay.
John Swinsko was still going well in the Evo 9 and reaching some incredible speeds on the straights. His 6th place overall was looking secure. Doug Weir was enjoying a trouble-free run in his 2-litre Escort and had climbed into 8th overall.
It's going an awful lot better. We're actually enjoying it tonight. The car's running fine. The roads are a bit greasier though. It's not as grippy as it was this afternoon, as we found out in a couple of corners, but no, everything's going really well.
So is there a bit of dew in the air causing some dampness on the roads, do you think?
I think that's what it is, because I first thought it was just the tyres going off, but everybody else is saying the same thing, and some of the roads, they do look a bit damper. So,
are the roads generally in better condition than normal?
I would say so, yes, because there's quite a lot of new tar areas, but you don't know how that's going to be in the damp as well, because it's not, the tar's quite new.
Okay, so you're happy with 8th overall at the moment?
I'm delighted actually, after the trouble, all the toils and trouble we've had over the weekend, so it's really good.
Dave Hopwood had looked secure for the class win, but back in service, the once immaculate Escort was looking rather second-hand.
It seemed to go damp tonight. We pushed hard over the 21 miler. On a fast right, we had a bit of a trip across the grass on the left. That was, that was the first time we thought there's a problem here. Then over the Michelin slots, we came down the hairpins, turned into one. Couldn't make it round, and we took through a fence on the right. It just got beached on the bank and we couldn't get back, so we had to wait for spectators to come. We probably dropped a good 2 minutes now. I think we're 10th still, but as far as the class goes, we're 50 seconds behind Doug Weir, so it's time to calm down now and settle with that. I think we won't chase him now.
So you're happy with 2nd in the class and 10th overall?
Yes, we've got no choice now. We won't be able to push any harder. We're already taking risks, and as you can see, it doesn't pay.
What do you think brings the likes of yourself up to Mull each year?
This is the only place you can bring a car like that, a Mark II Escort, and still be relatively competitive against the modern machinery, just purely because the roads are so difficult and it takes a long time to get to know them.
We caught up with a few more drivers to ask them about the Mull experience.
We took a jump badly on Gribben over the bridge, and we broke a top engine mount, and the engine fell back and burst the power steering, and damaged the drive shaft. We managed to strap the engine back and just drive through the last stage. So
everything all right at the moment?
Yeah, the last 2 stages have went quite well. So especially the last stage, we took quite a bit of time out of the guy in front. So hopefully we've got a wee bit more to push, but we'll see if we can get 3rd place.
And why do you think people keep coming back to Mull to do these rallies?
It's just a fantastic place. I mean, I think it's one of these places you either love it or you hate it, and I love it. And it's just an adrenaline rush, So as long as I can get an entry, I'll come back as long as I can.
Ford Anglia WRC. Tell us a bit more about it.
Well, it's a Ford Anglia. It's 1959, October 59. It's baby Atlas, fully floating, 6-speed sequential box, all steel motor. And the WRC it's a well-run car. Is that not what it's about? No. So we're enjoying ourselves here. We had a good night last night, but we made some good time up during the day, and now we're just going to try and consolidate. Look over our shoulder. There was an Escort Cosworth behind us, but he did catch us on the long 22 miler. So that's us now.
And how many times have you competed on Mull?
Competed 8 times in Group A Escort Cosworth, Sierra Cosworth, but I've owned this car 28 years, and this is the one I'm going to carry on competing in. And this is, there's 2 Anglias over here.
So what makes you keep coming back to Mull and competing?
Well, just the challenge of it. I mean, this is what it's about, night time. A lot of people say, pity there's not more daytime stages. Well, you can get them anywhere else. It's a nighttime stages. I mean, I'd rather a wee bit more daytime, but it is good nighttime. It's very educational. Friendliness of the people. I mean, the island's just a big welcome to you. So that's nice.
Is it true that you co-drive in black boots and a tartan skirt?
Well, unfortunately the tartan skirt isn't Nomex, so I'm not allowed to wear it to co-drive, and the black boots, well, don't really go with the Range Rover, do they? So I have to change into something less glamorous.
Seriously though, how's the event gone for you this weekend?
Brilliant, really good. We did have problems with power steering, so did 13 and 14 quite slowly, but we've picked back up the pace and we've moved up 10 places over the last 2 stages.
How many Tour of Mulls have you done?
This is our 3rd one, yeah.
Right, Sean, your first Tour of Mull.
Yeah.
Co-driving, how's it been for you so far?
Hectic. I had no clutch for the last 2 on the long one and over the locks, so set pretty good time on the long one.
I believe you've just found the new master cylinders sorted out, last 3 stages?
Yeah, I borrowed it off the guy in the Range Rover. Just fit it and see how it goes.
And you enjoying it?
Oh yeah. Can't do anything else.
So what actually makes you come back here year after year then?
Well, it's just unique. I mean, if you rallied anywhere else, this place is unique. The crack, the roads, even though the roads never alter from year to year, there's still such a challenge. I mean, you know, you have big frights. Believe me, every year you have big frights, but maybe that's what just keeps you focused, and you come back. And I'm going to tell you, I don't do it for a living. I just got to enjoy myself, and when this is this good, we got to keep coming back to do it. So.
And so, with just 3 stages remaining, we'll now take a look at the class winners. But the top places were still to be decided. So was James McGilvery taking it easy?
No, I wouldn't say that, but John Cope's going really well. He's pulled a fair bit of time back, but no, we're pretty happy at the moment. So 3 stages to go.
Yeah, just over 27 miles to go now. 1 minute 39 is the lead. Normally you would think that's a very cushy lead to have now.
Yeah, normally you would. This is Mull. No, I would think it would be okay, but you'll never know till you're over the finish line.
And on the very last stage, he nearly threw it all away on this slippy right-hander. But James was quick to react and kept it in one piece. And he headed to the end of the stage to take his first overall victory.
James, do you think you've done enough this year?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Good luck to Cope if he comes up there quicker than that, but
yeah,
I think so.
So, do you know what the time was before going in, the gap?
Probably over a minute, I would have thought. Minute 20 or something like that.
So when a Group N car is beating a WRC on this event?
Ah, well, John's gone well. You know, fair dues to the guy. He's gone really well today, like, so absolutely delighted. Brilliant.
Congratulations anyway, James and Ian. Congratulations.
All right.
McGilvery had actually set the fastest time on all of the remaining stages, whilst for John Cope, he now knew a steady run would secure him second.
And flat left, into right 2, and left 1, and flat right, and right 1 at Armco, into open left 8, and open left 6, open left 8, open left 6, and right 3 opens, and straight over bridge, turn right 9, into right 3, and flat right, 50, and flat right, and sign 50, grid over flying finish, and long right 1, 12:37. Good rally.
Both
Good
John
rally.
and Tony were pretty happy at the finish.
John, big push in the last 2 or 3 stages there.
Yeah, it was the last 2. Well, not this one, but the one preceding these 2. James took some time out of us, which we knew he would do. And to be honest with you, like I said before, at the end of the day, unless James had a problem, then there was no hope of catching him. So all credit to James. He's put in a good performance, and he deserves the win.
Yeah, but great comeback by the pair of you after your first stage round.
Yeah, I mean, we are very, very pleased. Obviously, you know, at the end of the day, we couldn't imagine being second after you know, being so far behind. But you know, it's ifs and buts. You know, we could have been there, but
well
it's
done.
good enough.
And well done on your second place anyway.
Thanks very much.
Okay.
Dennis Biggerstaff wasn't quite sure he'd done enough to secure third.
Third place, if that's true, you happy with that?
Well, depends on these boys. We're maybe just a little bit conny in that last stage, so we'll see.
Good run anyway. Congratulations.
Thank you.
He had, and that left Eddie O'Donnell in fourth, but still with the loudest cheer. And rounding out the top 5, Tony Bardi. Eventually just 3 seconds separating him from O'Donnell. Lyndon Barton had driven a superb rally, and he was certainly happy for one reason.
We got here and we got on the calendar.
Well, you've got a big smile on your face now, you must have enjoyed it.
Enjoyed that, yeah.
John and Paula Swinsko had been running in the top 10 throughout the event, but on the very final stage, in exactly the same spot that McGilvery had had his moment, John was not so lucky, and the car slid off the road. The emergency teams were quickly into action, and the stage was stopped whilst both John and Paula were taken to hospital. We're glad to report that they were both okay, thanks to the efficient safety teams and the strength of the new Mitsubishi. So here are the final results, which would see James McGilvery and Ian Fraser as the winners of the Tunnock's Tour of Mull Rally. And the event sponsor, Boyd Tunnock, how had he found the whole experience?
The rally was fantastic. I was really, I was charmed with the way it all went, and I was treated like a lord, and it was fantastic. And the organisation was, par excellence. It was really super. I was privy to, on the second night, a section that had to be closed because there had been an accident and it was closed for an hour. And just all the methods of doing all these things, it was wonderful.
So all that was left was for the parade to the finish ramp and the all-important spraying of the champagne.
Into a new era in our 36th year. Now Callum, let the walk up the ramp here. Thank you, Callum, as they come up the ramp. James McGillivray in here. Here folks, our winners, the 2005 Tunnock Tour of Mull. The winners are the 2005 Tunnock Tour